Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. It is Saturday, February the 1st, 2025. I wanted to come here and share this story with you guys because this is something that I've been telling you many times about how these days people have one too many jobs and not everybody's giving 100% to their employer. But before I continue, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's listening in the podcast right now. I do apologize again for not using the microphone as it's still not working, but I really hope that the audio, I'm doing some tweaking in the audio when I'm editing, so hopefully there is no issue there. I know I'm very soft spoken too. And also I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's watching this video right here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and share. So I heard this story. I was like, here we go once again, right? Another incident at a daycare, right? When a child is forgotten. And I told you guys, when it comes to like, if you care for somebody, right? Like a child or you have a parent in a nursing home, I always say to you guys, check on your people, right? As much as you can. And if you cannot be there, always try to find somebody that you trust that who can do that for you, right? Even if you have somebody in a nursing home, maybe perhaps go and pay that person to go maybe like 3 times a week if you're not available to go, and just alternate with them or something like that. Always check on change behavior, change of appetite. And if you're there often, like a daycare that you pick up, like you drop off in the morning and you pick up in the afternoon, just check out if they have a new staff, if you see that the child is unkept or something like that. Always keep an eye out for those things. If they keep losing things, if they don't like certain people that work there, right? Always look for that. And I know a lot of people already know this, but these days that we're living in right now, you guys, is so important because these are the days where we know the economy has been bad, even though we already have a new president. I don't know what's happening with the prices, right? And people are struggling. A lot of companies doing layoff as well too. So you have to remember that people, in order to survive, they're gonna grab 1 or 2, 3 part-time jobs. And when you work so much like that, it's it's very hard for you to give 100% to every job. Okay, you can do it like one week you're like, I had a great week in all my jobs or something, but eventually our body will get tired, our attention will get tired. What happens when we get tired at a workplace? We no longer care like for quality. It's just a human nature, right? And we see it when we order something. You get home, you get your food, and it's like you're missing like 3 things that you specifically said, right? It's like they're not even paying attention to anything, right? Or like you ask for something and they don't even give you that, or they don't give you enough, or even you communicate with the cashier, with the person taking the order, and they're like, yeah, I wrote it down, and then when you get it again, it's missing. So just things like that. When it comes to, obviously, when it comes to food or like retail things like items and things like that, you might give a complaint, you might return the stuff, you might not go back to that restaurant. You move on with life. But when it affects, excuse me, a human being, that's where the problem begins, because it could be, like I said, somebody at a nursing home, right, who the staff forget to feed them, right, because they're too busy, or that person's speak on their own. And if you're not going there on a daily basis or have somebody to do that for you, you're gonna miss that. Perhaps they're hungry all the time, they're losing weight, things like that. If you go, if you don't check on your child on daycare, you just pick them up and like go home and go on with your day at home, and then you don't see things, you don't take the time to notice things, then you're gonna miss the whole point. You're gonna miss the whole point of what I just said too, because you're gonna miss the things that are lacking, because like I said, people are taking a lot of jobs these days and they're not giving 100%. This is something that happened to this mom. Unfortunately, it's very sad, but let me tell you. exactly what happened here. And mom was distraught after her daughter, 2 years old, was reportedly left alone. Listen to this. The daughter was left alone on a daycare bus for several hours with no coat or shoes. Okay, the girl who was also found with the soiled diaper is physically unharmed but acting different since the January 27 incident. That's what the mom is saying now. An Oregon mom is furious. I can pronounce today, I'm sorry. If Oregon mom is furious after her toddler daughter was reportedly left on a bus near freezing temperatures for several hours. There's no roll call and be like, okay, we just got to the school now. We just got back to the daycare. Do we have every child that we're supposed to have? There's no because in daycare there's never one person working alone, right? Usually they have many people, and nobody said, wait a second, we're missing somebody. Several hours left alone on school bus. Craziness. So the distraught mom, her name is Cassandra Robinson, told the local news that her daughter, 2 years old, spent the entire class period at Doris Place Daycare in Adamsville alone on the school bus on Monday, January 27, 2025, after the driver and the daycare workers forgot her there. Temperatures reached as low as 36 degrees, and the little girl was stuck, buckled into the car seat. How crazy. Because I'm like, wait a second, a toddler, usually, the people always talk about the terrible twos. And like I told you guys, my mom always, she was a babysitter. And growing up, I always had kids in my house, right? And toddlers, when they're home because they don't, not only do they talk a lot, like if the ones that talk, and they're running, everything is in motion. When a toddler is around, there's always emotion. They're never quiet. And they're usually talking a lot, and when they're home, like you can't miss it, right? Because they're really they really are known to let you know that they're home, right? So she was buckled up in the car seat, and on the bus with no shoes. I mean, she was in the car seat, on the bus with no shoes or coat for around 3 hours, you guys. For 3 hours, nobody was able to be like, wait a second, we're missing somebody. It's just so crazy, you guys. The toddler, they're saying that she also had a soiled diaper. Yeah, I can only imagine. Okay, the employees at the family building Black's own daycare reportedly discovered the child on the bus around the time it was supposed to bring her home and call her mom to inform her of the situation. So that's a good move on their part. That's a good action that they notice, oh my goodness, we made a terrible mistake. And we had left this child, right, on the bus for 3 hours. Let's call the family and let her know. So that's very honest in their part. When people we all make mistakes, obviously, but I'm glad that they were able to come forward and say that. So it says here, but the mom said, I'm sorry, I'm reading this. It says here that initially they told her that, they told the mom to come to the daycare, I guess. And she was asking, what, did the child fell or something? But she said she learned the truth. It took her a minute to wrap her head around what has happened to her daughter. I said, I'm trying to process this information because what do you mean? She said, quote unquote. And so it takes me a minute, but I'm like, how long was she on the bus? She was asking. And the daycare worker said the whole class period. And I was like, what do you mean? Worried about her daughter, the mom headed to Doris' place where the toddler was out of the cold but not acting like herself. I mean, of course. She was very quiet. The mom said she didn't run up to hug me, which is normal for her. She just sat there and looked at me. Oh, that's so sad, because, this is a trauma also for the child, even though, perhaps physically they're good, right? But being left, seeing everybody get off the bus, being left there for that long and nobody coming for you, and you see everybody being able to get out of that's a trauma thing. Even though they're young, that's something that, hopefully they have somebody to work with her so that she doesn't go through, you know, that doesn't traumatize her, right? It says here, and this change in behavior has continued, the mom is saying. She said that after January 27 incident, normally when she plays by herself, the mom said. But now, if I'm not in the room, she will say, come sit with me, come sit next to me. Or if I'm not in the couch already, she will bring her toys to me. So she wants like that companionship to have that protection next to her at all times. So the daycare name is Doris Place. And it says here, Doris Place workers have since apologized to Robinson for leaving her daughter on the bus, but the mom wants someone to be held responsible. Okay, because it can happen to any child. When bad things happen, everybody's sorry, right? Everybody's sorry. You apologize, but there are things that, you still have to suffer the consequences because some more training needs to be done. Because if that's not enforced, it is going to happen again. Okay, and then by then there's not going to be any excuses, right? So she's saying that, like what I just told you, she doesn't want that to be repeated. All of them didn't do their job. It wasn't just the bus driver, right? Everyone is liable. Everyone is responsible. Everybody needs to take accountability. All of them. So that's what she's saying, you guys. Like I said, this is very sad. We are living in these days where everybody has a short attention span. So always check for change behavior, check changing appetite, and just if you need, we all go to work, right? We all need like somebody to help us, especially if you have kids or you're caring for a parent. But check on your people all the time as much as you can. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening in the podcast. Have a good day. God bless.